Hey, YouTube Nation. This is Amanda Elo'esh, the Heartbreak Jedi, your quicker waker upper in these powerful times of transformation and a lot of heartbreak. I'm going to be sharing a little bit today about how to heal the trauma of murder in our systems. And this is a little bit of a trigger warning. I will be sharing a little bit about my personal experience with murder in my family, but I will be focusing mostly on how to heal it and a little bit about the dynamics of trauma in our system and how it impacts ourselves and the world around us. So when we have a traumatizing experience, whether it's something violent or something else, when we have a trauma in our system, it freezes an algorithm, a program, and the program is something that's set for survival. And what it does is it takes into account all of the different elements that were going on, and it puts together a sequence of A plus B plus C of this is what happened. This is what started it. This is what happened. This was the outcome. It was really fucked up. I don't want to experience it again. So I need to be familiar with all of these sequences so that I can be prepared next time it happens. The only problem with that is that it is a stuck program that's an algorithm, and it's so powerful in the subconscious. It has so much power from the intensity of that trauma that it is set to actually unconsciously recreate it. So I don't know if you've heard, and I don't want to geek out too much on the subconscious, but I'm a subconscious whisperer. And my mission is to help us to all unravel the subconscious trauma-based program so we can be safer people and truly live as agents of the light, as change agents, as true allies, by being able to show up and elevate situations instead of showing up and making things worse, which is what happens when our subconscious survival, scarcity, fear-based programs are active and at the home. And they often are unless we are actively deprogramming ourselves. So you've probably heard the phrase, hurt people, hurt people. I first heard it from Fania Davis. It was Angela Davis's sister, and she was teaching restorative justice. And she was saying that hurt people and guess what? Scared people scare people, and traumatized people traumatize people. And I would say most of the time, it's totally unconscious. There's zero intention from people who are hurt to hurt other people, or to scared people to scare other people, or traumatized people to create more trauma, but that program is set up to continue playing that loop. And so, it's stuck. And the only way to break out of it and not keep recreating that experience is to be able and willing, the ability and the willingness to go into where that pain is. And I'm focusing on my heart because that's where my trauma shows up in my heart. My heart feels broken. It feels, like it's crumpled in on itself. Like there was I'm impaled by something. It's horrible. It feels terrible physically, emotionally, mentally. And when we have that intense pain in there, we have to attend to it. It's like an actual wound. We have to actually take care of it. And usually what we do when we have that kind of pain is we try to ignore it, or we try to medicate it and turn the volume down, or distract ourselves with Netflix or food or sex or drugs or alcohol to turn the pain off. But guess what? It's only a momentary distraction. It's not sustainable. It doesn't work. Things get worse. The signal gets louder because it's trying to get our attention and get us to do the work needed to be done so that we're not stuck in that pain, stuck in that trauma. But if you don't know how to do it, it's a really hard loop that you get stuck in and you can't break out of. So it's essential to do deep healing work. And this is, the conundrum we find ourselves in is that, a long time ago, I've been blessed to learn from some really amazing Indigenous elders and wisdom carriers. And there's this consistent thread of, when someone was traumatized and acting in a way that was harmful to themselves or others, the whole village would gather around them and surround them with love and kindness, and also fierce reflections of, this is, not okay. This is how you're hurting yourself. This is how you're hurting us. And we're here to help you. And they, get to a place where they really feel like they can't escape themselves. They can't jump out into distractions, and they're supported and held to go into the pain and to really let it go, to surrender and just let it flow through. And that is the fastest way to get out of trauma, is to find a safe and sacred space to relax and go into the pain, and like, it's like metabolizing it. It's like letting it through the system, letting it up and out, letting it move out in the fastest, swiftest, most gentle way possible, hopefully. And there are lots of different ways. And ceremony, being in a ceremony with sacred witnesses, with facilitators that know how to hold that space for you, is important. It's one way, to have that ability. And that's what we offer. That's the mission of the church that I founded, the Church of Living Wisdom. Our mission is to create safe and sacred spaces for our diverse community to learn, heal, and grow together. This is what we need. This is what we need to be returning to. Because when we have the opportunity to do that, we release this trauma from our system, and guess what? We find peace inside. We come back to that place of love and calm, and then we can bring our true gifts, our presence, our wisdom, our sense of calm into the world. And when you show up in a situation where other people are in programmed behavior, but you are at choice, you are in peace and calm and sovereignty, you can affect positive change. It can literally be the difference between life and death. And this is how we are to be allies. If you want to be a safe person, if you want to call yourself a true ally, you need to be committed, ferociously committed to being aware of and unraveling the subconscious programs that are stuck in trauma and recreating more pain and suffering for yourself and for others. Unintentionally, unconsciously, but real and powerful and harmful nonetheless. So as I was mentioning, finding a safe and sacred space where you can actually let those feelings have to come up and out, like you got to get them out somehow. Crying, there's all kinds of ways to purge it from the system. And ceremony is a beautiful, safe ceremony is a beautiful way to do that, because it's this conscious choice to let it go in a way that serves our personal growth. So we're co-creating at the Church of Living Wisdom. We're bringing together the village that we've lost track of. We've lost in our lineages. We're bringing that sense of village together, of strong, powerful priestesses, medicine women, guides, allies, healers, to create a safe, sacred space for you to come and to do your deep healing work. And it doesn't have to be with us, but you're welcome to. I created a masterclass to dive in a little bit deeper to the realms of the subconscious and how to move out of the programmed heartbreak, overwhelm swiftly. And there are a couple of BIPOC scholarships for our community. I'm going to post the link to that in this in the description here. Please take advantage of it. Please come to the class. Only $15, normally $25, and it's going to be a deep dive into how to move on quickly from heartbreak, how to access the treasures in there, how to be a safer person, how to make the world a safer place by being a safer human. One thing I want to mention is that there are some healing modalities that are old and hopefully going the way of the dinosaur and passing into extinction. There are some ways that people try to heal their trauma that are actually re-traumatizing. And one of the ways is, unfortunately, traditional psychotherapy, like talking about it, saying it over and over. In some ways, it can be helpful to share your story. You know, it can be helpful to share your story, and it can also sometimes be re-traumatizing to yourself and the people who hear it if it isn't shared in a way of release and elevation. And if you don't know how to share your story in a way that releases it from your system and elevates it, then you are going to re-traumatize yourself and possibly unintentionally traumatize others. So traditional talk therapy or just sharing your story, it requires a particular professional approach, an intuitive approach for it to be actually helpful. There are other well-meaning healing arts practitioners that try to help people with trauma that don't have enough training themselves and don't have enough expertise, and it can actually make things a lot worse. So if you are consciously healing your trauma, make sure that if whoever you're getting help from, that they have a lot of training, they have a lot of education, they have a lot of experience, maybe even preferably personal experience of going through something very traumatic and healing from it, so that they will not be overwhelmed by your healing experience, and that they have the wisdom and expertise it takes to create that safe space for you to truly relax and let it out of your system in a safe way for you. So that's what I wanted to share. Hope it was helpful for you. If you liked it, please like it. Please share it with other people. Write some comments too. Let me know what you think. Is there anything that you would like me to cover? Is there anything you disagree with? Or there's some old information I'm sharing that needs an update? Please include that. I welcome that. I'm here to learn, heal, and grow with my diverse community. So I'm always up for that. Thanks for watching. And if you like what's going on with me, I'm going to be doing more. Subscribe. And I'll catch you again really soon. And until then, may the source be with you. Bye, everybody.